Welcome. Last video we opened the locks with the keys, which are actually called Eclipse keys, for a reason you'll find out just after opening this door. What? It's getting dark again. What's going on? And now you find out why they're called Eclipse keys. Man, this transition always hits hard. The first time I saw this, I almost quit the game. Like, after opening that door, one would say, oh, we can finally go find our daughter at the school. And then they get into this horrendous place where the fog is replaced by the darkness and the silence by the scary music. Like, the game is basically telling you and wishing you good luck, so... But before going on though, I want to go back to show you the diner actually. Because I never really saw anyone showing the diner at night. And this is pretty much the only chance we have for that. And since we're going there, I'm taking advantage of this chance to also try to get some healing items and ammo, which I noticed I missed before, so... But don't worry, they're close by, so yeah. Now, first of all, some things that I forgot to specify in the last video, based on my playthrough, is that yes, I mostly use the handgun, as I had enough ammo to use it without the need of the melee weapon, although, as you know, this steel pipe, which is an iconic weapon for Silent Hill, is an upgrade to the kitchen knife, because it does more damage and has a longer range, so I'm sorry to say, but the kitchen knife is pretty useless. They really give it to you as a last resort, so you have a chance to survive in dire situations in the beginning of the game. But in any case, I didn't use the steel pipe because I didn't want to risk losing the healing items in close range fights, as opposed to the ammo, which we have enough of, as you can see. And generally, a good horror makes you feel constantly pressured with this stuff, and Silent Hill does this perfectly, but at this point of the game, even if we are still at the absolute beginning, we're not in a bad state with munitions or health drinks. Like, there's one more, so yeah, we're not in a bad state at all. Now let's go back to the diner, before getting killed by these air screamers. God, this diner is so creepy at night. I think... yeah, I think I should make the brightness a bit higher. Because I don't know if you can see it on YouTube. And yeah, YouTube makes it even worse. I wanted to show you this because I don't know about you guys, but the first time I saw this, I got chills down my spine. With this silence and the cold snow falling outside and the broken windows, so you don't even feel safe inside. Like, I wish we could go behind this counter so we could feel more safe. Like even the pinball machine behind us. I feel like even this could spawn something evil. I don't think we interacted it with the first time. I don't remember interacting with the pinball machine. Nice. I actually prefer having this horrible song in the background as opposed to the silence. Really, silence in this game makes me paranoid because I know with music there's going to be action, but with silence I really don't know what to expect. Yeah, so now we're going to the convenience store. One more thing you'll see me do probably a few times during the playthrough is I'm going to miss things we can actually interact with. So a con about PS1 games is that it's not really clear what we can or cannot interact with. something which, if we compare to modern games, is not really a problem, because the game developers got better at distinguishing the interactable item from the rest. Now, another thing is that I'm playing on normal. I thought about starting the game on hard, but I want to show you the difficulty which most players would choose, so you can base off of my gameplay how hard it is. I could have chosen easy, to have an easier time, or hard, to have a tougher time, but I wanted to choose normal, which is in my opinion the most balanced one, as this is like I explained in episode 0, just like Resident Evil, this game has the hardcore mechanics of survival horrors, and they did this on purpose for profit reasons, so when people finish their subscription they would have to rent again and give them even more money. Linking to this, I also avoid cutting parts of the video to show the full rhythmics of how the game would play on a normal playthrough, like the mistakes I do sometimes. I really dislike videos which are full of cuts and edits, so to be more genuine, I avoid doing that at the cost of the video being longer. But about that, who knows, maybe in the future, if I'm not pleased with how the first series came out, I could make a run on a hard difficulty. Now, before going on, I want to check the map. I don't think we're going to go to explore right now, because it's night. We can't even see the monsters, and we're probably going to miss the collectibles as well, so might as well go right now in the Midwich school and try to avoid as many monsters as possible. Yeah, the enemies are going to hit me a few times. This is the perfect example of what tank controls are. I think we only talked about what tank controls are in episode 1, but I wasn't even playing there. And I should probably turn the torch off. It's scarier, but they can still hear you, but they can't see you, so it's very, very useful. At least so we can avoid them without losing things. Now I'm going to run a bit towards the school bus, which, if I remember correctly, it was on this side. Yeah, it was this way. Too dark to look at the map here. This is a very small detail where if Harry's torch is turned off, he can't see because it's dark. It's something today's developers could do because it's simple, but why care about small details, right? Now you see this school bus? It has the number 7 on the outside. I'm going inside because I'm dying. So that number 7, it also has a reason why it's there. I'm going to explain the reason why just after we get inside the school. I'm taking these hot drinks and I'll see how we run health because I probably read. Yeah, and in fact I drink the cures we just got and probably save as well, because we never know what's coming next. But I'll save on another file. It's not really required in this part of the game, but I'll tell you further on. Having a dedicated save file will be very useful, but we'll talk about it when the time arrives. Now let's run away from these dogs. Okay, now we're finally inside the school. There's the map already, but let's take a look around first. And there's nothing. Here's a school map. Take it. Now let's take a look at this map. Midwich Elementary School. So these two, as I said, is a reference to the movie, which I don't know if you ever saw it. It's called Kindergarten Cop, a movie which came out during the 80s or 90s. I don't remember well. But the Team Silent, when they made this building, they got inspired from the movie School, as they wanted a US-style school with long hallways full of lockers and different class for each subject instead of each student class before, because we're in a touristic city in the United States, so it wouldn't make sense to have a Japanese style as a school in the United States. And that number 7 refers to the movie School Bus, which is an exact recreation from the movie. And besides this, the name Midwich Elementary School is also a reference to a novel named Midwich Cuckoos, which also is a reference inspired from the Village of the Damned. It's all like a continuous cycle of references one after the other. Moore, Ronaldo, Gordon. This must be the list of teachers. And coincidentally, these names are also a reference to a rock band, which I think some of you already know or have listened to, by the name of Sonic Youth. Let's take a look at these notepads. It's written in blood. 10 a.m. Alchemy Laboratory. Gold in an old man's palm, the future hidden in his fist. Exchange for sage's water. It's written in blood. 5 a.m. Darkness that brings the choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey. That seems more like a warning more than anything. And this is also written in blood. 12 p.m. A place with songs and sound. A silver guidepost is untapped in lost songs, awakening a de-ordained order. We are in the reception room. Interesting. A picture of a door. I don't know who drew it, but it is certainly in bad taste. You know, when I saw this painting the first time, it didn't look like a normal painting. Like the figures look like they are coming out from the painting. So this too, just like the 5 a.m. note, is more like a warning sign for what's coming next. And now I remember there was some ammo here, and here it is. And now I think we can get out. Unfortunately, that painting isn't really inspired from something real. It's an original artwork, but I'll try to link all the references we see as much as possible. And these doors are all locked, so let's get into the infirmary, because we haven't been there. Not yet, at least. A notepad, which we'll use just after taking these cures on the left. Now, one thing I'll talk about after we get into the courtyard, about the safe house, because it's pretty important. I mean, everything is important in this game. And here they are again. I really feel bad killing them because they too have a particular story. A very, very particular story. So, their official name is Grey Child, This one which we see in front of us is the uncensored version. They too evolved into having a grey color instead of a more pinkish skin in the earlier versions to avoid resembling humans even more. And they have a knife in their hand which they attack with instead of claws, like the censored version, which are called with the official name mumblers, because they basically mumble. But I'll talk about mumblers later on when we'll get to encounter them, because even though they're like a censored version of the Grey Child, which shouldn't have been in the game, they still found a reason to use them. I'll put an overlay of all the different versions we went through before getting to the final censored one, because it's interesting, and I'll even link the book from all the original references in the description if you're interested in knowing more. So, as you know, back then, as I talked even in episode 0 about generally about censorships, if you know, even Resident Evil had a censorship problem. In fact, in Asia, it's called Biohazard instead of Resident Evil. I'm not going to get into the details of Resident Evil. Maybe one day if I'll bring this series on YouTube, I'll get to talk more in depth about it too, because it's also very interesting. Talking about Silent Hill though, it also unfortunately suffered from these censorship problems, which is really, really frustrating. And this could also be for the fact that during that time in the 90s, a few years before the game came out, two very bad things happened. The first is the homicide of a 2-year-old kid by the name of James Bulger, who was assassinated by 2 other 10-year-old kids. And the second is the massacre of Dublin School, where 18 children were killed, and also including the perpetrator, and 10 to 12 others who were hurt. I'll link these both Wikipedia articles in the description if you want to know more. And we could also talk about the movie A Child's Play, the movie with the red-haired doll by the name of Chucky, who physically represents a child. And that movie also was banned for a period of time during the 90s. All of this happened almost 30 years ago, and medias generally got a bit more tolerant about this stuff. But censorships are still a problem in today's games too. For example, Wolfenstein 2, The Last Colossus, is also censored, where the Nazi swastika is censored and even Hitler's moustache is removed. Now, one could say it's a good thing, one could say it's a bad thing. I'm not going to take part in anything. When I can, I avoid censorships because they remove what is true from what actually happened in the world. And now remember when I talked to you about the action of kicking the monsters to kill them, and then they leave the pool of blood, so it's basically the game confirming us it's dead. Now, imagine kicking a monster resembling a kid to fully kill him. Obviously, not only today it could have some repercussions, but imagine back then in the 90s, when people still thought that games were such a new, realistic and scary concept that could provoke violence and make children serial killers, which we now know as is confirmed that it's not true at all. And this is the clock tower. A golden sun. A silver moon. The tower door is locked. The hands are stopped at 10 AM. Now, before doing anything with these 3 enigmas from the notes we found near the reception room, I'm just going to explore the entire school and see what we can find, as that's the best option for now. And that obviously involves in killing these child or great children. Ammo. Here the radio makes the static sound. I remember very, very well this part, because there's him. He follows us, because he knows we're here, but if he touches us, he doesn't hurt us. And if we run, he starts to sob and is afraid, and actually falls still. And then disappears at once, with the radio static. This figure, whose official name is Larva Stalker, which is harmless, in my opinion, and I repeat, in my opinion, because this is my personal speculation, it derives from the fact that it is said that we are all born equal and good, quote unquote good, and we become evil simply by living, because with time we risk becoming corrupted by the world that only wants to exploit us. This child, who in the end is a simple fetus, is still pure and therefore cannot harm us. And indeed, the figure of a child, or even in general of a newborn animal, gives us from our intuitive sense, which we all have, this innate action of protecting him because it's weak and fragile, rather than hurting him, because it is something that must be protected from evil. The lock is jammed. This door can't be opened. Now, this door, I think, was locked, if I remember correctly. Exactly, so we must go to the other way. They seem to be all jammed, but here we can unlock a shortcut to get back to the entrance. Now, one thing I want to talk about is the different type of doors. The ones which are jammed, like for example, this one right here, we will never get to open that door because it's blocked and it doesn't even have a key or something like that. While doors which are simply blocked can be opened if we have the right key or simply from the other side, like we did for the shortcut. I think I'll go counterclockwise to explore this area. Let's clear this hallway first. Wait, what doesn't it work? Oh, here we go. Now, I'll be fast while exploring because there's not much to see right now apart from finding ammo or health drinks. Nothing here. Let's go on. That crying voice you just heard, even if it was coming from a boy's bathroom, as you can see, it was actually a little girl's voice. Oh shit, there's two of them. Fortunately, there's some ammo. So there is something in the bathroom then, huh? It's unlocked. Music room. Let's check it out. And here's the famous dreaded piano enigma, which we can't do now, lucky me, because it's not the right hour. It's written in blood. Yeah, we'll check this out later. Now, the locker room. I know what's about to come, but I'll be silent for you to experience this scene together with me. Just a cat. Nothing inside. Here's the kid who most probably killed the poor cat. Now, a player who's searching for answers to the many questions for Silent Hill might ask himself what a cat is doing in a locker. Obviously, cats wouldn't lock themselves inside, so it must have been someone who did it. And since we're in a school, maybe a teacher? No. And the grey child we found outside was most probably the one, as it's the best clue we have. Thanks to the fact that he spawned right after this scene, since he wasn't there before, this one we just killed must have been a very cruel child, right? In various moments of history, such as the Black Death or bubonic plague in the 1300s, cats were the symbol of the devil's hand, and they were commonly killed for that reason. While in other places, like for example Japan, it is the exact opposite. And in fact there are maneki nekos, which are a small statue to resemble and respect cats as a lucky charm. And in other places like Egypt, especially ancient Egypt, the person found to be killing a cat was punished with death for how important and worshipped cats were. So all this should give you an idea for how important this symbolic reason of this scene actually is, as it's not just a simple jump scare with the intention of scaring the player. Wait, there's one more? But why isn't the radio making the static sound then? Wait, he disappeared? Oh no, wait. Let me cure myself first. Oh, now there's sound. Strange. Yeah, that's strange. That must have been a bug. We could hear the low crackling sound, but not the one from the radio. There's no more enemies in this hallway. There should be the lava stalker, but why is he invisible? Hmm. Okay, this door is already unlocked. So let's go back to the library first. A first aid kit. And a larva stalker. But where is he? Yeah, I think Silent Hill today decided to be a bit bugged out. It's not that serious though. What I wanted to show you for now I did get to show you, so at least that's good. And nothing else. It's unlocked. So that means we should have went through there anyways then. Chemistry lab. Ammo. Nice. Statue of an old man's hand. The fist shut tight as if never to let go. There's a chemical. Yeah, the game helps us by making it indistinguishable from the other items on the shelf, so we see it easily. Wait, there's another grey child? You weren't here before. Yeah, so the chemical is the one we need to melt the hand to retrieve the medal. A gold medallion. Nice. A picture of a clock tower is engraved on the surface, found in the chemistry lab. Damn man, you gotta be a cowboy to get through here. Like, why is the game continue to spawn grey shards in this hallway? Okay, so let's finish exploring before going back to the courtyard, by going to the roof first. And obviously the lock is jammed. So let's go back. Okay, so let's unlock the shortcut and get inside the classroom then. There's no ammo inside the class. The damn kids used them all. They were practicing their shooting. Wait, there's two of them here. I feel bad that we can't interact with them in any way, but at least you know the reason why we can't from what I said earlier. Now, let's unlock this shortcut and get inside this hole then. Okay, it's jammed, so we really can't get in there at all. Okay, let's go back to the clock tower and insert the gold medallion. I think it's the only thing remaining now. I think we checked everything. Wait, wrong button. A golden sun. Did something change? The tower door is locked. The hands are stopped at 12 o'clock. And see, without too much effort, we already solved half of the enigma simply by just exploring. So, now before going to save, I want to check the basement. I see we didn't check this one yet. The boiler room. There's a switch. Do you want to press this switch? No, wait. Nothing appears to happen. The valve is tightly shut. Don't know what it's for. Better leave it alone. On this other side, there's nothing. And nothing inside. Wait, before saving, I'll reload first. So let's save on the slot we used earlier. So it's 12 o'clock. I should probably check the note first because I don't remember what it says. A place with song and sound. So the music room. The music room with the dreaded piano enigma. And now the piano cover is open. There's some blood on some of the keys. Does this mean anything? Check the piano. Yes. No, I don't remember which keys are silent and which ones are not, because I did this some time ago, so I'll do a fast check. Oh, the controls are a bit strange. Okay. It's written in blood, a tale of birds without a voice. First flew the greedy pelican, eager for the reward, white wings failing. Then came a silent dove, flying beyond the pelican, as far as he could. Then came a silent dove, flying beyond the pelican, as far as he could. A raven flies in, flying higher than the dove, just to show that he can. As one glides in to find a peaceful spot, next to another bird. Finally out comes a crow, coming quickly to a stop, yawning and then napping, who will show the way, who will be the key, who will lead to the silver reward. So it was the first and last one. Second, fifth and sixth. And we got it. Much simpler than I remembered. I swear, if this took longer, it would have been the only part where I cut the video, because obviously I'm not making you wait and sit there for hours just looking at me foolishly trying to solve a puzzle. Even though it's not really simple. I saw some people on forums struggling on that as well. And I remember this took me more than half an hour to solve, or even more than 1 hour, the first time that I tried. So yeah, it was pretty smooth this time. God, these kids are starting to get annoying. Silver moon. What hour is it now? The door is locked. 5 o'clock. Now, you remember the note which was more of a warning talking about this hour, right? And that moment has finally arrived. That's why they also put this horrific song in the background. And look, even the red button is glowing. This is it, guys. Nothing with the valves yet. The boiler is working. Let's go back one last time to the clock tower and see what's waiting for us next. It's not going to be a happy place. And the larval suckers are still here. Are you ready, boys and girls? Okay, we're going down. And listen, again this siren sound. Keep out. Now up again. Now, fortunately for me, but unfortunately for you, we're going to go there in the next episode.